Hey there, it's Anne Marie, the anti-HR lady, and I want to talk to you guys today about 4 things you need to do, know, and understand before you engage human resources around any employee-related issue. Yes, I'm in bed because I sprained my ankle, and I want to get this video done, and the only way I could do it was from bed. So that's where I am. And I have so many people coming to me and asking me questions around raising issues with HR, or people are coming to me after they raise issues with HR and haven't done it effectively, and then they want to help me walk things back. And it's very hard to unring a bell. So I'm trying to explain to you guys how to talk to human resources before you even go to them. And this isn't even about raising issues of discrimination, even though it does apply. It's about any concern that you go to HR with. You've got to understand 4 things. So who am I? I'm Anne Marie. I'm the anti-HR lady, and I have a HR employee-focused consultancy where I provide employees with advice and information about navigating human resources, and I specifically teach employees how to leave discriminatory hostile work environments and how to get their employers to pay them to leave. So if that's of interest to you, watch my videos, grab access to my online masterclass, and if you need to consult with me one-on-one, go book a discovery call on my website. Okay. Now, 4 things that you need to know and understand before you engage with HR around any employee concern. The first thing you need to understand is that HR is there to protect the organization. And you've heard me say this many, many times, but for some reason, it just doesn't seem to be computing with everybody. HR is not there to protect you. So you need to understand that first and foremost, they're a risk management apparatus of the company, and their primary responsibility is to protect the company from you as the employee, protect the company from liability. So when you go in to raise any concerns, you got to raise it with that understanding. And once you understand that, then how you relate to them should be governed by that understanding, okay? The second thing is, don't just show up in HR with no strategy and no objective. When you go in there, you need to know why you're there, what the outcome is that you're looking for. Specifically, what do you want them to do? What is the problem you want them to solve? Don't just go in there to report a problem. That's never going to be to your benefit. Don't just go in there to say, oh, well, this thing happened to me, and I'm just letting you know. You need to go in there with the intention of reporting something, but also asking them to do something very specific about whatever your issue happens to be. Whether it's that you don't agree with a PIP and you want them to assist you in getting your employer to either revise it or completely remove it, or something has happened with a coworker and you want them to require specific action or take specific corrective action to deal with it. But you've always got to be specific about what you want them to do, okay? The third thing that you need to know is if it's not in writing, it never happened. So if you go to HR and report something, make sure that you put it in writing after you have the verbal meeting with them. Human resources is notorious for pretending that things that happened didn't happen by not papering them, right? They only paper things that are going to benefit them or the employer. So if you go to HR and you raise a concern, make sure you send a follow-up communication to human resources after that, face-to-face or Zoom or whatever type of meeting it is, and memorialize in writing what happened, what was said, and what your understanding and takeaways relevant to what the next steps are supposed to be from that meeting. Don't just go in there and walk away and think that they are going to send you an email. They probably won't. Or that they are going to document it. Because if they document it, it won't be necessarily in your favor. So make sure you document that meeting with human resources, and you also send an email to whoever you met with in human resources, memorializing the conversation that you had with them, exactly what it was about, and exactly what you asked them to do. And sometimes it's even a good idea, if you're expecting them to respond or follow up, to ask them to respond and follow up with you by a certain time. And finally, it's always better for them to be on the defensive than you. So when you go into the meeting with human resources, the last thing I want you to remember is always listen more than you speak, and take notes. And don't hide the fact that you're taking notes. Make sure they know that you're taking notes by asking, is there a problem if I take notes? If you would like to record the meeting, ask if you can record the meeting. If they say no, then make sure you take copious notes of what is said and let them see you taking notes, because they need to understand that you're an educated employee and you're taking the situation that you're bringing to their attention very seriously. Okay, so those are the 4 things that I think that you need to know and do before you raise any type of employee concern with HR. But I'm going to give you one bonus thing. The other thing that you need to understand is, especially if you're going to HR to raise concerns around any discrimination or retaliation, is that more than likely you're putting a target on your back by going to HR. So make sure before you go there that you already have a plan about what the next steps are going to be after you meet with HR. Again, don't go in without a strategy. Don't go in without a plan. If you're not sure how to hatch a plan on your own, then I suggest you grab my masterclass replay, because I walk you exactly through all the steps that you need to take to strategically deal with HR and get the outcome that you want if you are dealing with a discriminatory, hostile work environment and you want to leave and you want them to pay you to do that. If you have another type of HR issue and you need advice about how to deal with it, then book a discovery call and I'm happy to talk to you about it. You can get the link to do that on my website. I hope this tip was helpful, and I hope that it will kind of answer some of the questions that I see come into my comments and even come to me by email or through discovery calls, where people are still not understanding how to strategically approach HR with issues around employee-related concerns. So this is Anne Marie, the anti-HR HR lady. I want you to remember that HR is not your enemy, but they're definitely not your friend, but I am. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.